Knowing how to virtually stage and animate inside of your real estate videos is something that every real estate videographer needs to know. It's an easy way for you to bring empty rooms to life, add more value for your clients, and make more money. And in this video, I'm gonna show you exactly all the steps to creating these kinds of video clips. So let's get started. All right, so I got Final Cut open here, and this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna create this animation right here where this dining room set comes into place. So we're gonna do that, and then we're also gonna do one more where we do this bedroom set that comes into place. And the reason I wanna do both of these, I think it's a good idea because this one's actually going in reverse direction. And so the way we're gonna do this, it's gonna take a few steps. We're gonna be working on a website called Higgsfield.ai. This is a subscription-based program. I wanna say I think I pay $17 a month for this, but it's pretty worth it. I mean, there's so many different things that you can do in here, from Kling, Nano Banana, Higgsfield itself. So this is a really great tool to have. So the way we're gonna do it, we're gonna grab two still frames from this clip right here. And it's gonna be one at the beginning of where we want the animation to happen and one at the end of where we want the animation to end. And we're gonna drop those into Higgsfield, into Nano Banana, and create a virtually staged image. And then also use Kling to animate it and then bring it back inside of Final Cut for the final edit. So let's get started. We're going to open up our other project, bring that onto the timeline. And let's see where we want to start. So I want it to start right around there. So we'll trim this off. And I want it to end right about there. So we'll trim that back. Usually we want to color correct these before we do anything else. I'm just going to get rid of some of that yellow by using my hue and set and just dropping the yellow just a little bit. It's a little overpowering. So now we're going to get our start and end frame. So I think I want the animation to start right around there. But what I want to do is I'm going to slow down this entire clip. I shot this at 120 frames per second, so I can slow it down by 75%. And right about here is where I want the animation to start. So I'm going to back up to here, and I'm going to speed ramp the first bit of this. Somewhere around there. Okay, so that's pretty good. And I don't want my ease handle to be part of where the actual AI animation is happening, because what we want is we want a smooth forward motion. We don't want it speeding up and slowing down at different speeds, because that will mess up our animation inside of AI. So we want to have a constant, steady motion. So right there, I'm going to grab a still frame. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit M to have a marker there, and then we will export a still frame. And then I want the animation to end right about here, I think. So I'm going to marker there, export that as a still frame. And now we are going to open up Higgsfield. And I'm going to use Nano Banana to start off to do our virtual staging. You could use Nano Banana inside of Photoshop, but it's going to be quicker for me just to bypass that and use everything inside of Higgsfield. So I'm going to hit Nano Banana. As you can see, I've already messed with this some, and I'll show you the prompt that I use for this too. So we're going to grab our second frame, because the second frame is where our AI build is going to end. So drop that on there. And then I'm going to hit generate. And the prompt that I'm using says furnish dining room with modern furniture, including a glass round dining table and all matching chairs under the chandelier. Everything should be proportional to the room. That's important. You want to make sure that you say that it's proportional to the room. And the furniture should be modern and elegant with a complimentary rug underneath. I'm sure there's better prompts than that, but I've tried this out a few times and that one worked well for me. So we'll see what it looks like. And it clearly did not work well that time. So let's try it again. That, I think, worked better. And so now we are going to open up, we're going to go to video, and we're going to use cling for this. But actually, we need to change this to cling 2.5 so that we can have a start frame and an end frame. And so what we're going to do is we're going to grab the first photo and use that as our start frame. And then grab our virtually staged photo and use that as our end frame. And then for this, I'm going to grab my prompt that I have here and generate a 5-second clip. And while it's doing that, basically it's saying, I said, each piece of furniture pops up and falls into place one by one. The camera has a smooth forward motion. So that's obviously going to be very important to let the AI model know which way the camera is going. All right, let's see what we got. That's pretty good. It's a little weird the way it comes in like that. So I'm going to try it one more time. See if it did any better this time. Yeah, I think I like that. So we're going to download that, bring that into our project. And if we bring it right here, should line up perfectly with that. And if we trim this out, it should line up with that. And that's good. And one thing that I've noticed is that the exposure does change a bit. The AI does tend to boost the exposure a little bit, but what you could do is, I think I found the number value that it changes. So if you go into global and you hit -7, I think it matches up pretty well. The other thing you do is you add a crosses all by hitting Command T, and that will sort of hide that a little more. Cool. Actually, I think I'm going to remove some of this shot. So I'm going to go right here, right before that, and get rid of this. Just kind of speeding this up a little bit to kind of make it flow a little bit quicker. And so then we have this where it drops out. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do a transition so it kind of sells this a little bit more. So I'm going to go right here where the animation ends, and I'm going to slow this down just a little bit right here. And then I'm going to take away a few frames and then slide this over. And then we can add a transition effect right here. So I think I'm going to use something from Ryan Nangle. I can leave a link to this. I'm going to hit the bounce effect. And I'm just going to change a couple of parameters on here. I'm going to get rid of the vertical bounce. The horizontal shake, maybe bring that down to 10. One cycle. I just want to have it go horizontally. So I'm going to take out everything else, the rotation and all that stuff. And then just have it look like that. Perfect. And now I'm going to speed ramp the second half of this clip into our next clip. Cool. So we'll grab that other clip that we want to put there, right there. And speed ramp that one. Nice. And then we'll have this go into the other clip. So here's what we've got so far. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do this like a boomerang. So I'm going to hold down Option and click and drag over this way. I'm going to make this a compound clip by hitting Option G. And then I'm going to hit Shift W to reverse this clip. Cool. And a couple other things I want to add to this too is I actually have a motion blur effect. I'm actually going to be having an effects pack that I'm going to be releasing maybe this weekend actually. So if that's something that you're interested in, leave a comment and I will make sure that I get you a link for that. So I'm going to grab the motion blur and grab it on here. Basically, this is going to come with motion blur, zoom in effects, and a sound effects pack too. I'm going to grab it and put it on all these clips. And you can kind of see what the motion blur does. There's with it off and there's with it on. And again, you can see it right here. When I turn it off and turn it back on, adds that nice motion blur around the frame. And so let's get our second clip that we're going to virtually stage. For that, we're going to use the bedroom shots. So let's bring that onto the timeline. And we're going to reverse this clip. And I'm going to slow it down. Same thing with this one. We're going to speed ramp it first. So like maybe right there. Okay, right there, we're going to hit our marker and grab our first frame. And there's going to be our second marker. And then we're going to go back into Higgs field and go back to Nano Banana and get rid of this one. And let's grab our new ones. Reuse number 4. And I'm going to use a different AI prompt for a bedroom. So copy that. And what that one says is furnished bedroom set with modern furniture, including upscale bedding, 2 end tables with lamps, and a rug. Everything should be proportional to the room. Furniture should be modern and elegant. You got the wrong aspect. This is done twice to me now. Why is it giving me a different angle? I'm going to try one more time, and then I may have to change my framing on this because this is, it's not getting the room aspect ratio. Now we're getting it. All right, so now we're going to go over to video. Clean 2.5. And we're going to drop in our, oops, let's get rid of these. Drop in our start frame. Okay, now we're going to drop in our second shot, our end frame. And for this, for our AI prompt, we have to change it a little bit. Camera has smooth backward motion. Let's see what we got. I'm bringing on the timeline, and then let me speed this up to match. It's going to be too fast. So we're going to drop the exposure, -7. Make sure we're matched up there. And then also make it cross dissolve so it's even more seamless. So right here, I'm going to start slowing it down back to 100%. And I'm going to drag this over here. That's actually not bad. I'm going to bring this up and do the same thing where we're going to bring this back a couple of frames because this is this the last frame? No, it's not. But I'm going to bring this back like 2 frames. Just a little bit. Bring this back over. And I'm going to add my transition again. Adjust my settings. And then from there, I would just move on to my next part of the video. So if you're just getting started and you want to know how to not just make these kinds of clips, but you want to know how to do a full video shoot, then you're going to want to watch this video right here where I give you a full behind the scenes video shoot from beginning to end. And if you like this kind of content, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.